There was an article that I read. I get the Bridge Smart Briefs every week, so I basically get articles that Bridge is promoting to industry insiders, and I can read these articles and sort of understand how the landscape of DEI is changing. I'm not predicting how DEI is changing. I'm not like making an assumption about where things will go. I'm reading exactly what they say they're going to do, and I've been correct this entire year. And so this article, a little bit of the ways down, they say, look no further than the world's biggest retailer, Walmart Inc., whose CEO, John Furner, appeared on CBS this morning to address changes to their DEI policy, which includes elimination of the term Latinx and replacing the acronym DEI with the term belonging. Walmart is not getting rid of DEI. Walmart is not removing any of their DEI policies. They are changing the acronym. They're changing the language. They're going to get rid of visible policy that people can point to and say, I'm going to bring a lawsuit against this, or I'm not going to buy from Walmart because they're doing DEI. The CEO said, what we're trying to do is ensure every customer, every associate feels welcomed here to shop and to feel like they belong. And what you're going to see over the next few months is a lot of companies dropping the equity portion of DEI, and they're all going to, in lockstep, start talking about inclusion and belonging especially. This was something Sherm talked about in their presentation back in June. Sherm said that it's time to try and make people feel included again because they need white men in order to continue pushing the ideology and have less criticism for what they're doing. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, it says the lesson is to get ahead of the narrative. And then they talk about George Floyd's murder because every DEI article mentions it. And they talk about like how the practices can be barely legal and corporate people don't want to be very risky. And then the guy talks about there are 5 truths that people need to understand when it comes to DEI. And one of them is called Truth 2, visible diversity is becoming a liability, but invisible diversity is a huge opportunity. Invisible diversity is something I've been talking about from Bridge since January this year. The entire goal of Bridge is to make DEI the DNA of a company, to make it the job of everyone at the company. So no DEI departments, no DEI officers, no DEI managers. Everyone just does the work. This article says, in the summer of 2020, being vocal about DEI was a sign of the times. Companies added DEI pages to their websites and made loud, bold, definitive commitments to how, where, and what they were going to invest in. Silence equaled compliance, and those who stood for nothing would be shamed. Today, the opposite strategy may be the winning one. For most companies, visible, loud diversity efforts may need to take a back seat to silent, bespoke, and dare I say it, invisible programs and policy changes. Again, I don't know why Robbie Starbuck keeps claiming victory every time he puts out another company saying we've won. I quote retweet him and show how we're not winning. They're just going underground. They're changing it in the way that Bridge wants it to change. The policies, like even in the companies who release statements like John Deere, Harley Davidson, Jack Daniels, all of them said in their announcements that they are committed to DEI. So I don't know how so many people are believing him when he says we're winning. It's kind of confounding to me. And then, truth number 5, you must decentralize and embed inclusive leadership into everyone's role by using Gen AI and or leadership training via outside experts. And using AI to increase diversity is something that Amazon has had in their white pages twice this year, I believe, in their financial reports. This is something that they've been trying to do. And so, again, it's not surprising that I'm reading this article in December when I've been talking about this since like March or April. And the guy who wrote this article, because he wanted to mention the awards as well, Doug Melville, he has a website where he talks about his... I'm on the wrong page here. Hold on. He has a website where he talks about his company, which he calls a disruptor company. And he has a whole bunch of videos for the Disruptor series with his Disruptor company, where he talks to people like Maria Shriver, Snoop Dogg, Catherine Schwarzenegger Pratt, and Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God is someone that Tim Pool made a video on saying, look, even Charlemagne is against DEI. He says that it's not good. But if you play the entire clip of Charlemagne, he says that DEI is good. It's just not working in its current iteration. It doesn't go far enough. So I was like, who's this Doug Melville guy? And there was a lady in some of his Disruptor series videos that is from a company called AdColor. And the AdColor website has an award show. And the award show says the 2024 nominees and honorees that are announced for the 18th annual AdColor Awards. What are the AdColor Awards? They are basically DEI awards. So everyone who is nominated for awards are people who are like CEOs who do stuff for progress. They're DEI officers. They're DEI programs, DEI commercials. They basically just give awards to all of these people who are pushing this ideology in the industry.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And like if you look at the categories, they have like a rising star, rock star, innovator, change agent. The AdColor change agent uses their skill and power to enhance corporate culture and create a more equitable and inclusive environment for everyone connected to it. They call attention to the talents and potential of others around them, putting plans into action that exceed the scope of their professional role. And so it's basically just a complete bullshit award show to make sure people feel encouraged and empowered to keep pushing this ideology.
Jesus. DEI Executive of the Year. There you go, right there. When is this? Oh, by the way, I looked down here at the nominees and such. The marketing manager at Google is a nominee here. So, Google, the #1 search engine in the world, handles their marketing. Just throwing it out there. It's just interesting. You always bring something to the show, Kirsha, and
yeah, I mean, I want more people to know what Bridge is, and I know there's a lot of people when it gets brought up in like comment sections, they're just like, oh, well, everyone will know what Bridge is because it's just another like renaming of DEI, and it's like it's not, and they're like, well, the money will run out, and it's like, well, let me give you the Bridge link. If you look at their website, they're not hurting for money. When you see how many companies are a part of their executive committee, part of their director team, part of their staff and contributors, their strategic advisors, when you see how many powerful companies are involved with Bridge, you begin to realize like, okay, maybe this is something we should be paying attention to, because that's why all of these companies announce what they're doing all at the same time.
Way to bring it down there, Kirsha.
And I thank you for letting me talk about Bridge. I was like, I really, really want to get the word out there. I've been screaming about it all year.
It's sobering, It's sobering because you think you're making a little headway, and you wonder what this looks like in the gaming space. We were talking about, who does an excellent job is Master of the TDS. He does an excellent job, and he just last night did a live stream where he talked about the latest game coming from Sweet Baby Inc. Right, and in that he talked. He has an insider over at SPI, and he's like, yeah, nothing's changed. Like they've seen no pushback. Nobody's stopped working from them. And everything's just moving forward. And there's been no repercussions to the blowback that they've seen, despite their games failing, despite this overwhelmingly resounding pushback from gamers as a whole in 2024. I mean, I can't think of a better example than Concord versus Marvel Rivals. I mean, there it is. It's right there, right in front of your face. Same genre, same everything. One blasting off, the other one literally, destroying an entire company.
And it's very sobering, but I never want people to feel demoralized, because that's what they want you to feel. They want you to be demoralized. They want you to give up. They want you to feel like it's hopeless, and it's not. Marxists might gain control for a small period of time, but they never actually win. Communism
That's
doesn't
work. That's what they were doing with DEI. It's like hate white people. Hate
just
yourself
stay vigilant,
if you're a white person.
pay attention, and know when people are giving you false promises.